This is LASRYD. More than just a truck, it provides invaluable memories for the loved ones of fallen truck drivers. The brainchild of David and Mari Benson, LASRYD is a hearse and an instrument of healing for those who engage its services, and, in unexpected ways, for the Benson family.
David and I had had a big night one Saturday night on the drink, and woke up the next morning a bit on the hungover side, and David was out the front hanging off the plum tree praying to the gods that if he survived he'd never drink again. And it just got him thinking that when his time did come, he didn't want to go in a car, he wanted to go on the back of a truck. And yeah, that's pretty much where it was born from. David actually came across the truck parked up in a shed in Victoria, came across it by accident, and we purchased it for a very good price. Bought a home and sort of, spent quite a few months tossing up what we were going to do with it. When the idea was born, that was it. It all sort of kicked off from there, and yeah, she ended up in Sydney getting gutted and refitted, and we had a friend over at Queanbeyan Trucks that knew a fella that helped us out with the roller drawer, and so yeah, it's all custom done to suit the job that we're doing. Look, initially David and I did spend quite some time debating which direction we were going in with the truck. Initially, because it did need to earn money. He wanted to put it out to work. I wanted to baby it because it was an old girl. And it got to the point where he just threw the keys at me and said, "You do it." So yeah, it went from there.
Life as the family of a truck driver holds many challenges, but as the daughter of a truck driver, these challenges were not unfamiliar to Mari, and she and David were able to successfully maintain a cohesive family unit.
For me, it was great. I loved it. My father was a truck driver, so I grew up with predominantly one parent at home, which was very normal. Look, it's also very, very hard at the same time, because it is that one parent that's dealing with basically everything, the everyday hiccups that happen. So I think one of the hard things for a parent that is away during the week and comes back is the rate of mental and emotional development the kids go through during that short space. It'd feel like a constant catch-up, trying to keep up with where the kids are at constantly, and I think that puts more pressure on a family as far as the flow of the way things run. Look, I'm very comfortable with my own company. I'm a Gemini. We get along really well. Look, we manage, but we made it work, and it's a constant effort. It really is. It's communication, phone bills as big as a mortgage, but you find ways, you make it work.
In February of 2010, while LASRYD was being refitted, tragedy struck the Benson family. David was killed in an accident while at work driving a truck, and suddenly life changed dramatically for Mari and the Benson children.
Oh wow, that was a day that's imprinted in my mind. Sitting outside waiting for the kids to get home from school, and I was reading a piece in the newsletter that came the day before about the value of time. And little did I realise that as I was reading that, David had also had the accident at that particular time too. I received confirmation of that accident probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, from a friend of his, and it was shock. How do you process something like that when you've spoken to someone and an hour later they're gone? It's very, very hard to process.
With the loss of David, the process of finishing the truck and delivering its services took on a new and unforeseen meaning.
Yeah, just the rebuild. It was when we lost David, she was up in Sydney at A&I at Wetherill Park, getting new floor, needed soundproofing because it's so incredibly loud. Yeah, they absolutely gutted it. New floor, new leather inside, and halfway through that rebuild is when we lost David. So the boys up there put on a great job getting it back together again so we get it back down here for the service. And since then it's just been a slow work in progress. She's got a 3406B Caterpillar in her. It's got a 15-speed Road Ranger around the corner box on road suspension. We permanently removed the turntable, and we've got a custom-made roller drawer on there. And simply because she doesn't have the capacity to tow trailers anymore, she's been reclassified from the prime mover to a heavy rigid, which has been a great money saver when it comes to rego. It does. Initially we'd started off wanting to have money-making business out of it, but when I lost David, I really struggled afterwards with the thought of charging people for the service, simply after what I went through with the sole income earner, losing no money coming in, and how incredibly tight it is financially. It's funerals, they cost a fortune, and money they want on the day or prior to the service, and sometimes it's fairly hard to come up with that sort of dollars in such short notice. So what I do is provide the service free of charge to take the transport chunk off the bill to help the family out.
Even the best laid plans can go astray, and Mari has had some interesting experiences delivering LASRYD services.
Yeah, we had we did a service many years ago in Victoria, and we were all set to leave, and we had everything together, and we actually left home and heading up to the servo to fuel up, and realised halfway along when she started losing power and everything else that I'd forgot to turn the fuel taps on. So yeah, we got stuck on the highway and or stuck up on the back road. Tried to get the truck started, but the bleeder pump was threaded, so we were actually pumping air into the tanks rather than pumping the fuel in. So yeah, made a few phone calls and ended up a mate had just finished his run with his dog and tipper, or tipper a dog. He came to the rescue, and the actual end of his airline is still sitting in the fuel tank of the truck. So, but we got it going, and we finally got to Victoria. We were a couple of hours late, but yeah, enough time to get to the service and get everything done the way it should have been done.
You're not meant to. 10.
10.
Wait, first, no, we need to do something. Save the bonus number if you...
Mari's grief and healing process led her to seek out a new career path, and she now helps to change the lives of traumatised children and youth.
I came to learn how little support there was out in the community, whether structured agencies or whatnot, but how little there was out there for kids that had gone through trauma, especially the trauma of losing a parent. And yeah, it sort of directed me into that path that yeah, if I can help my kids, why can't I help other kids as well?
LASRYD has been part of many funerals, providing lasting and meaningful memories for the families and friends of truck drivers. Continuing to deliver LASRYD services holds many challenges, both professional and personal, for Mari and the Benson family.
I mean, some jobs we get, depending on the nature of the accident, we might have a few weeks' notice, but in general, it might be about 4 or 5 days' notice, and it's yeah, it's a big job. It takes me pretty much most of the day to wash and polish if I'm on my own. But every now and again I get people come in and put their hand up and give me a hand. Look, a majority it does come out of my own pocket. But when it comes to fuel and things like that, generally what happens is people pass the hat around knowing that the truck's coming to do the service, and they'll help out, you know, they'll help out with the fuel.
Through tragedy and grief, to healing and facing life's other unexpected challenges, Mari Benson and LASRYD provide an ongoing tribute to David. It's a loving and beautiful symbol for the loved ones of fallen truck drivers to carry in their memories as they move forward in their lives.
You know, our loved ones get taken away from us, we lose them, but if I can provide a memory that can't be taken away, winner. You know, that's what it's about. It's a legacy for him. I mean, it was his idea, and you know, we went with it, and it continues. It's yeah, I don't know.